Now, with Ukraine's economy balancing on the verge of default, the country's new leadership is welcoming Western diplomats in the hope of getting urgent aid. EU Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton has promised support, and Washington said it will weigh in too, in addition to an IMF package. But as RT's Alexey Yaroshevsky reports, many Europeans are not so happy about saving Ukraine from default.
EU member state Greece.
We don't have any jobs. And at the same time, we have debts to pay.
They should support us now that we're in great need.
EU member state Spain.
I'm unemployed, I have 2 children. We don't get any government help, and it's hard to survive each month.
If we don't have money for us, how can we give it to Ukraine?
And revolting Ukraine, a country without even an association deal with the EU.
We've all seen what happened in Ukraine, so I hope they will help us.
I can see no alternative sources of financial aid for Ukraine other than Europe.
The EU is playing with carrots and sticks. There's economic integration, which was going to mean that big parts of the Ukrainian working population will see a deterioration in their living style. The fantasy about entering Europe, the streets being lined with gold, that's a fantasy, because the real project is an IMF-based austerity program.
With questions about who will lead Ukraine into the future and whether the country will stay together, one thing is clear: it's the ruined economy that needs to be revamped first.
Even before the Euromaidan protests kicked off, there was a talk of a possible default in Ukraine. In November, its external debt reached 160 billion euro. It was one of the main reasons why Kyiv refused to sign the trade pact with the EU, fearing it could aggravate the situation even more.
In November last year, Europe offered only several hundred million euro to Ukraine, but with the opposition now taking the reins, the EU is ready to give a whole lot more. A luxury many EU members, such as Greece and Spain, can now hardly afford.
Spain can't help now.
I'm just speechless. This idea is worse than anything.
First they put Greece into huge debt, and then they offer Ukraine all the money?
Alexey Yaroshevsky, RT, reporting from Kiev in Ukraine.